everybody, it's Sean here. I'm just walking into frame, sorry. So I have, as you can see, I have both of the boys with me in this video so I can talk about the differences between them and the things that I like about each and the things that I dislike about them per se. But first I want to mention that Cupid is still for sale. I know you guys are sick of me saying that, but she has just had her selling her has been horrible. I don't think I will do another alternative baby again, and I'm really going against doing another open-eyed doll again because I find they take longer to sell anyway. So the combination of her being an alternative doll and her being open-eyed has just made it super hard for her to even get interest. The lady who you guys saw comment on the video when I was changing her, she messaged me, of course, and we came to agreement of the price, and right before she was about to pay, she said her daughter was in the had to go to an emergency hospital, and I said, I'm sorry to hear about that. Pay as soon as you can, and I never heard from her again. So part of me thinks she's lying. I have very little trust in people because the same exact thing happened to me with another doll that I was trying to sell. The person said that their daughter, again, was in the all of a sudden was in the hospital right before they had to pay. So part of me doesn't believe it because of the timing. It was right before she said she was going to pay, and then all of a sudden she didn't. And then all of a sudden her daughter was in the hospital. So I'm not saying if she's lying or not. I just say it's kind of sketchy. So Cupid is now at an all-time low price. I don't think I'll go much ever, this is the lowest I'm ever selling a doll, I think, and I will not go lower than this. She is now $145. $145 for her, plus shipping. And that again includes her costume and her box opening. So that is as low as I'm going on her. If she doesn't sell for that price, I don't really know what to do with her. Yeah, it's been super frustrating selling her. Moving on. So, yes, today I'm going to talk about the difference between a reborn and a realborn. I see this question come up all the time. What's a realborn? Or people are wrongly referring to a reborn kit as a realborn, or vice versa. So, a realborn is specifically a type of kit that has been trademarked, I think it's either trademarked or copywritten, by Bountiful Baby. These kits are 3D scans of real babies. So that is the difference. A regular reborn kit has been sculpted by an artist, and they take a long, long time to sculpt them and send them to be manufactured. So Bountiful Baby is the only one that has the Realborns. Yeah, so I think that's the main difference that I can explain it, the best way I can explain it. So, Realborns, real babies that were scanned. Just remember that, by the real. Sorry, my nose is running a little bit, so if I keep doing that, I just came from outside. Yeah, so Realborns are real babies that were scanned through a 3D scanner. And, again, Reborns were sculpted by hand by artists. Now, I've seen a lot of people picking on regular reborn kits because they're so used to painting the Realborns, and Realborns, of course, are pretty much perfect because they are the 3D scans. There are a few things that I don't like about the Realborns, and I'll explain that now. So, one of the things that I don't like about the Realborns, and I think they're trying to work around that and get more, to help that. My main problem with the Realborns is they all look very, very similar, and that's because a lot of the babies that they scan are relatives. They're related because it's easier to get relatives, it's easier to get siblings of other Realborns to scan because they already know the parent, or they already have permission, or it's all in the same family. So a lot of the Realborns do look quite similar, but I mean, babies in general kind of look similar as a newborn, but it's very, very similar with the Realborns. A lot of them look a lot alike. My other issue with Realborns are they all seem to be the same exact size, except for 3-month Joseph and the 7-month June. Uh, I would prefer like a bigger newborn size. I would love like a 22-inch Realborn. The only one that's kind of like a bigger newborn is Landon, and I don't really like his expression at all. I think he looks angry. Um, but yeah, so that's a major thing with it, that they also make them all very small because that's the easiest age to scan them at. So my two cons with Reborns are that a lot of them look very similar, and a lot of them are around the small newborn size, 18-inch, 19-inch size. Yeah, so for my pros for Realborns, they're obviously very, very proportional. They're the best proportions you can get. Very, very proportional. So it's not like having too long of legs, too long of arms, that kind of thing. They're all very proportionate. Their limbs and head match how they should. The detail obviously is they're very, very detailed. All the wrinkles, all the creases are perfect and really, really, really nice. They're really easy to paint. The vinyl is nice and neutral colored. Um, yeah, so they're just really great to paint. Really fun to paint because of their details and their vinyl. So yeah, that's for Realborns. Reborn kits, however, vary so vastly between the artists. No two Reborn kits look the same, and I love that about them. There are some that are similar, but they will never be the same because they're from an actual sculptor who sculpts them individually. And the issue with that, of course, comes in the fact that some sculptors are a lot more talented than others. For example, I love Bonnie Brown's kits. She's always very, very, very good at the details, the finer details. All of her kits are very, very proportionate and are just really, really well done. You would think they were scanned because of how proportionate and how detailed they are. Other kits, other sculptors, I won't name any names, but some of them have very disproportionate, like their arms are too long for their legs, their head's too big for their limbs, and the creases, my big pet peeve when it comes to sculpted kits is if their creases just look weird, or if their feet are just too small for it to be for the size of the kit. So those are some like big cons that I have when it comes to sculpted kits, sculpted reborn kits. Another thing is the vinyl. The vinyl varies so much based on the manufacturer that they use. Sometimes the vinyl is really, really bad colored, like it's just bright orange and it's really hard and you have to neutralize it. I refuse to paint kits like that. And then some of the vinyl is too hard to root. You have to like, even if you heat it up, like even if you warm the head, the vinyl is still really, really too warm to even root. So that's another thing. The vinyl is very like, it varies so much. Yeah, I think that's like the pros are, of course, like I said, they're very unique. Oh, another con, of course, is the price difference. Most of the time, Bountiful Baby has sales going on, so almost all the time there is at least one Realborn that's on sale for $30. And when you compare that to the fact that most sculpted kits range from $99 and up, unless they're on sale, which is very rare that sculpted kits are on sale through the vendors. But yeah, so that's another point worth making, that a lot of the times sculpted kits are way, way, way more expensive, especially if they're limited edition. Oh, that's another thing worth mentioning. Most of the Realborns aren't limited edition, they're open edition. A lot of Reborn kits are limited edition, which means that only a certain amount of that kit will be made. So, yeah. Price difference is a big thing. But yeah, so I hope that was very informational and it helps people understand the difference between the kits and what makes them different, what the pros and cons of each are. I love them both for their differences and whatnot, but yeah, I don't have really a preference over which I prefer because they do both have pros and cons. I'm just happy to have an example of each. I'll have more. I'll actually have more sculpted kits than Realborns. I'll only have him, who's the only Realborn that will be in my collection, and then I'll have Levi. That's the name of his sculpt by Bonnie Brown. I'll have a surprise kit I'm not telling you about yet, and then I will have my Harlow by Laura20 Ross. So I hope that was helpful, and I will see you guys in the next video, which may, depending on how busy I am, it might be a live, or it might be me announcing the winner of the giveaway on Friday. So I will see you guys when I see you. Bye.